So I just rewatched my video that I'm about to upload, and I realized that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I'm gonna break it down. Pretty much, one, I don't like the jobs that are offered to photographers after like as a career. I don't like those kinds of career jobs, and you don't make as much money as I would like to make. And two, there's no guarantees at all in the art world, despite what SAIC may tell you. So you can graduate and have a great portfolio and everything, but art's kind of a who you know kind of industry, just like anything or a lot of things. So it's like kind of like for those two reasons of I don't really like the jobs offered. I would never try and make it on my own as just an artist. And fuck, what was the other one? Oh yeah, and nothing's like guaranteed in the art world. So pardon me looking like a crackhead. I just woke up and I'm super sick. So, though I know the location of this video is visually stunning, I'm in between two train tracks right now. I'm still not really good at figuring out where to film, so bear with me because this will probably be rough. Before we get into why I'm actually leaving SAIC, I just want to say that this video is coming from just my own experience. I am by no means the spokesperson of SAIC, and everyone knows that, but just don't hear what I'm saying and immediately, if you're thinking about going to the school or something, and be like, oh, he had this experience, so I'll probably have that same experience. I just kind of want to make this video because a lot of times people message me and they're like, hey, do you think I should come to the school? I saw your video. Or they'll comment something like that. So, I don't know. Hopefully this video maybe can give you a little bit more guidance if you want to go. But yeah, so I'll just get into the reason why I'm leaving. Why I left, actually, and the reason's twofold. It's there's a lot that goes into it, but if I'm just gonna boil it down, it's one, you go to the school and you make a lot of art and stuff, and it's really fun and it's really challenging, and it's also not that fun sometimes. Whatever, you go and except you're making all your own art, right? You know, when you get a job, it's like you have a higher up. Let's just use an example of you work for Tesla, right? Well, that would actually be really cool. Let's say you just work for a car company, and you go to work, and they're like, hey, so we need the product to look like this, and it should make the viewer feel this way, and this way, and this way. Great. So now you have like a set of parameters, and it can be kind of a fun project for like creating, you know, a painting, a video, a photo, whatever, right? I realize, though, that I don't want to do that. I want to make my own things that I think of. And, yeah, I just...
Yo, who the fuck is that?
I don't know. I just want to make my own stuff. Like, I just want to make my own, whatever, my own art. And, so that's what I want to do. And I also want to be able to buy a house. I want to be able to buy a car. I want to be able to afford insurance because I live in America and health insurance is expensive. And if I have a kid, I want to be able to feed them and whatever. You get the point. Those two things don't go together. Now, some of you may be watching this at SAIC. You may feel angry. You may feel like,
but Connor, you can just become a famous artist. You can just do gallery shows, you can sell your work, you make a lot of money.
I could, The thing is though that's so unlikely. Now, you can do it. I'm not saying you can't do that shit, but you don't need to pay for college to do that. You know, you don't need to pay whatever the SAIC tuition is. You don't need to go in debt for the rest of your life to try and do that. So if you're planning on going to art school for the reason of, I feel like I can become an artist, except you're going to be going like a famous gallery show, whatever, artist, but you're going to go in debt doing it, I would tell you, don't do it. Don't do that. SAIC has a stat that 90% of the students have a job in their field within 6 months of graduation. Now, I don't have the proof to say that that's not true, but as I've progressed now in my SAIC career, I can tell you that I personally do not at all believe that stat, at all. Because I know people that have graduated and they're terrified that they aren't going to be able to find a job, and then they don't find a job at least within 6 months. And I know people that went to grad school after going to a different art school for undergrad, and they know a ton of people from SAIC that have graduated that are working as waiters and waitresses, hosts, whatever, like food industry jobs, that kind of thing, for many years after graduating. And there's nothing wrong with working in the food industry as a career. There's nothing wrong about that at all. But I just bring that up because that's not what that person intended on doing, right? That's not... You go to SAIC or any art school to do something in art. It was 2 years in, and I could have said, all right, either I'm gonna just put my head in the sand and go through it and hope that my experience is gonna end up way different than everyone else's, and I'm gonna be able to make 6 figures in 30 years, or maybe not even 6 figures, but just a comfortable amount of money doing photography. The more that I've progressed through SAIC, the more I'm starting to realize that isn't a very likely outcome. So I thought instead, you know, I've enjoyed my 2 years at SAIC. I love it. I really do enjoy the school. I like the school. I like the faculty. I like the classes. I like a lot of the people there too. And it's made me a way better artist. I think that's one thing that I will not ever knock about the school, at least for my department. We met maybe 4 or 5 people that worked within the arts world after SAIC. And there are 2 really big themes within them. A lot of people that graduate from SAIC return to SAIC to work there, which it's an amazing institution. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's just not what I want to do. I don't want to be incubated in a school so I can just stay there, you know? And then the other half were somewhat successful artists, but it took them 20 years and they had to hold 2 different jobs at the same time. I just know that I personally don't want to hold 2 different jobs and try to also be making a successful art practice at the same time. That's just not realistic for who I am. But Connor, like, if you just grind it out and in 20 years you're successful, then it's all worth it, right? Right? It's not worth it for me personally. The amount of sacrifices that you would have to make to do something like that is too high of a price for me. And 20 years is a long time. In 20 years, I'm going to be 40. So, I don't know. I just wanted to make this video to more so speak to people that are thinking about going to any art school. Maybe it's different at other art schools. I don't know. I only went to one. But specifically SAIC, that is why I'm leaving the school. I apologize that this video was not very funny. I'm very interested to see if I still have an audience of any kind. I know I haven't made a video in a really long time, I don't really care that much for being a YouTuber. That's not it's not anything I'm trying to do. But you can still expect video. If you would like to subscribe to me, that would make me so happy. Thank you for watching. If you're considering going to SAIC, just remember that it's going to be hard to find a job, in my own opinion, and when you get that job, maybe you won't make that much money. If you disagree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, I don't care.